The automotive market in 2026 is not shifting. It is splitting, right down the middle into two completely different realities that most buyers do not even know exist yet. On one side, you have SUVs that dealers cannot keep in stock. Units moving so fast they are practically pre-sold before the transport truck even backs into the lot. On the other side, and this is the part nobody in a showroom will volunteer, you have a growing category of vehicles sitting under fluorescent lights for 90, 120, even 180 days, quietly aging, quietly bleeding money, quietly becoming someone else's financial problem. Here is the thing, those massive $10,000 off signs you keep seeing are not generosity. They are emergency exits. Every month a vehicle sits unsold is a silent loss stacking against both the manufacturer and the dealer. The longer it sits, the more desperate the math becomes. And get this, a select few brands have flipped the entire script. They have turned scarcity into a weapon, commanding wait lists instead of offering discounts, while their competitors are running what amount to automotive liquidation warehouses dressed up with balloons and weekend sales events. The buyers who understand what is actually happening right now are not shopping for SUVs. They are shopping for leverage. Stick around until the end, because the final entry on this list is not just sitting on lots. It is sitting on a manufacturing identity crisis the industry keeps desperately trying to paper over. Number 1. Jeep Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. The Jeep Wagoneer was supposed to be Stellantis' throne room moment, a luxury flagship built to go toe-to-toe with Cadillac Escalade and Lincoln Navigator. A statement that Jeep could play in the premium sandbox. What it became instead is something much more uncomfortable to look at. Days supply on Wagoneer inventory regularly climbs between 120 and 180 plus days, which in automotive terms is the equivalent of a patient on life support asking what is for dinner. Incentives have surged to $10,000, sometimes $20,000 or more, with heavy lease subsidies deployed just to move metal off the lot. Here is where it gets truly desperate. The Wagoneer is built on aging truck-based architecture that buyers in the luxury segment increasingly associate with ride harshness, dated cabin dynamics, and fuel economy that belongs in a different decade. Meanwhile, Stellantis has created a brand dilution problem so severe that their own SUVs are cannibalizing each other. Wagoneer, Grand Cherokee L, Durango, all fighting over the same shrinking pool of buyers. The real kicker is the resale value story. You might walk away feeling like a genius with $15,000 off sticker, but translation, you just bought a vehicle whose residual values are crashing harder than a test dummy in a 40 miles per hour barrier test, and you will feel that pain the moment you try to trade it in. Bottom line, a luxury yacht built on a freight truck chassis, floating technically, but not convincing anyone it belongs in open water. Number 2. Volkswagen Atlas. The Atlas arrived with real promise. A 3-row family SUV that felt like Volkswagen finally understood the American market. Practical, spacious, reasonably priced. For a moment it worked. That moment has passed. Atlas inventory now regularly sits between 90 and 130 days, with incentives in the $5,000 to $9,000 range becoming standard operating procedure. Turnover rates lag significantly behind Korean rivals, and the cross-shopping data tells a brutal story. Buyers consider it frequently and choose it less and less often. Here is the thing. Volkswagen's internal focus has drifted almost entirely toward its EV transformation, and the MQB platform underpinning the Atlas has not received the kind of meaningful evolution that keeps a vehicle feeling competitive. Meanwhile, Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade have quietly become the gold standard of the 3-row family segment. Tighter quality perception, stronger reliability reputation, and resale values that actually hold. And get this, Volkswagen's reliability perception in the American market continues to lag its competitors in ways that show up directly in resale numbers and consumer confidence surveys. Translation: a platform that felt modern 5 years ago now feels like outdated architectural plans pinned to the wall while everyone else has already broken ground. Bottom line, a once relevant blueprint that the market has quietly moved past. Number 3. Chevrolet Blazer. ICE variants, subscribe and hit the like button right now, because what we are getting into from here is the part of the automotive market that dealers absolutely do not want you walking in already knowing. The Chevrolet Blazer had one job: bring back a legendary nameplate with modern sporting credibility. Instead, it delivered a confused product identity that has never fully resolved itself, and in 2026, the internal combustion engine variants are paying the price. Days supply on ICE Blazer trims runs between 80 and 120 days, with $3,000 to $7,000 in incentives now standard. Here is where it gets truly interesting. General Motors created this problem themselves. The electric Blazer EV exists in the same showroom, carrying the same name, creating a consumer confusion that actively undermines the ICE version's desirability. Why commit to a gas-powered Blazer when the product roadmap signals GM is betting elsewhere? The platform is aging, the investment is flowing toward the EV lineup, and the ICE Blazer is left in the middle, like a sequel nobody officially greenlit, but nobody had the courage to cancel. The real kicker is that lease deals on the ICE Blazer are genuinely cheap right now. But translation, cheap lease deals are how manufacturers quietly sunset products they no longer fully believe in. You are not getting a bargain, you are absorbing the brand's transition costs. Bottom line, a nameplate caught between two eras, and the market can smell the indecision. Number 4. Ford Explorer, ICE trims. The Ford Explorer is one of the most recognized nameplates in American automotive history. For 30-plus years, it was the default answer when someone said, "family SUV." That legacy is now working against it. ICE trims of the current Explorer are sitting between 70 and 110 days on dealer lots, with incentives climbing in competitive markets. And here is the layered irony that makes this story genuinely fascinating. The Explorer is not dying. The hybrid variants are moving. It is specifically the non-electrified versions that the market is beginning to penalize, as consumer migration toward hybrid efficiency accelerates faster than Ford's marketing wants to publicly acknowledge. Here is the thing, the platform architecture underpinning the ICE Explorer was not designed with this rate of electrification preference in mind, and Ford's internal investment priority has visibly shifted. The result is an ICE Explorer that feels like a veteran soldier still wearing outdated armor in a war that completely changed its tactics while he was on patrol. Translation: if you are buying an ICE Explorer in 2026, you are buying a vehicle whose segment position is being actively eroded by its own hybrid sibling. The resale trajectory on non-hybrid variants is a story worth asking your dealer about, and watching their face when you do. Bottom line, great history, complicated present. Buy the hybrid or understand what you are accepting. Number 5. Nissan Armada. Are you seeing inventory pressure like this in your market right now? Drop your city or region in the comments, because the geographic patterns forming across dealer lots in 2026 are genuinely hard to ignore, and we want to hear what you are actually seeing on the ground. Now, the Nissan Armada. A full-size SUV that has been running on the same F-Alpha platform for so long that the word aging no longer adequately describes what is happening. Days supply regularly hits between 100 and 150 plus days. Incentive levels of $8,000 to $12,000 are not unusual, and when you stack its resale values against the Toyota Sequoia, the comparison is not even a competition. It is a mercy exercise. Here is where it gets truly desperate. The Armada's fuel economy disadvantage is structural, not cosmetic. It cannot be fixed with a software update or a trim refresh. It is baked into platform architecture that was designed in a fuel price environment that no longer exists. Meanwhile, Nissan as a brand is still working through a recovery narrative that has not yet fully convinced American buyers to return in the numbers the company needs. And get this? The ownership cost profile on an Armada is one of the worst in the full-size segment when you factor in fuel, depreciation curve, and long-term reliability perception. Big discount up front, expensive relationship afterward. Translation: you're buying the discount, not the vehicle. Bottom line, a heavy-duty relic still trying to prove relevance in a world that has moved the goalposts. Number 6. Infiniti QX80. If the Armada is the relic, the Infiniti QX80 is the relic in a suit. Same fundamental problem, more expensive price tag, worse value equation. Luxury buyers expect platform evolution, thermal management sophistication, and technology integration that feels genuinely current. The QX80 has been fighting that expectation with the same aging architecture for years, cycling through typical inventory periods of 90 to 140 days with heavy leasing incentives deployed to manufacture transaction volume that would not otherwise exist organically. Here is the thing, luxury segment buyers are among the most informed, most cross-shop intensive consumers in the entire automotive market. When they sit in a QX80 and then sit in a BMW X7, a Cadillac Escalade, or a Land Rover Defender, the gap in perceived modernity is not subtle, it is structural. and it shows up in weak luxury segment conversion rates that Infiniti's own internal data cannot make look good regardless of how the framing changes. The real kicker is brand identity erosion. Infiniti once had a genuine design and engineering point of view. In 2026, that point of view has blurred to the point where the QX80's primary selling proposition is essentially, it is almost as nice as something else, but cheaper. Translation: that is not a luxury positioning. That is a discount positioning wearing a luxury price tag. Bottom line, luxury pricing wrapped around a vehicle that forgot what luxury actually feels like in 2026. Number 7. Dodge Durango. The Dodge Durango should not still be here. That is not an insult. It is a structural observation. The platform underpinning the Durango is one of the oldest in active production in the American market, a dinosaur in automotive terms that has survived not through engineering evolution, but through something far simpler: raw noise and the emotional power of nostalgia. The performance variants, particularly anything carrying the Hellcat designation, still generate genuine market demand, and that concentrated heat masks a deeper problem on base and mid-range trims, where incentives are climbing and inventory pressure is building in ways the sales charts do not immediately reveal. The Hellcat is keeping the nameplate alive the same way a hit single keeps a struggling band on tour. Here is where it gets truly revealing. Stellantis has stretched this product lifecycle so far beyond its intended runway that the Durango now exists in a kind of automotive palliative care, comfortable, familiar, not going anywhere fast, but not being actively invested in for a future that is coming whether the platform is ready or not. Bottom line, a dinosaur kept alive not by evolution, but by horsepower mythology and brand memory. Respect the history. Understand what you are actually buying in 2026. Number 8. Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Jeep built the Grand Cherokee L to be their three-row answer to the Telluride and the Highlander, an ambitious bridge between premium aspiration and mainstream family utility. In concept, it made sense. In execution, the market has rendered a complicated verdict. Inventory days supply runs consistently between 90 and 130 plus days. Incentives in the $5,000 to $10,000 range are standard, and lease-heavy transaction structures are doing much of the work that organic demand is not. When you cross-shop it directly against the Kia Telluride or Toyota Highlander, the competitive gap in reliability perception, software quality scores, and long-term resale confidence is not marginal. It is meaningful. Here is the thing. The Grand Cherokee L shares its fundamental architecture with the broader Wagoneer family, which means it inherits platform-level challenges that no refresh can fully address without a ground-up reinvestment Stellantis has not yet committed to. Software concerns and early quality perception issues created consumer confidence, damage that discounts alone cannot fully repair, because a buyer's hesitation about reliability is not cured by a lower sticker price. The real kicker is what this means for your ownership experience. Translation: attractive discount on day one, followed by a depreciation curve and resale story that reflects everything the market already knows about this vehicle's competitive position. Bottom line, a bridge between segments that too few buyers actually want to cross in 2026. Here is what you need to understand about everything you just heard. This is not a story about bad vehicles. Most of these SUVs will get you from point A to point B without incident. This is a story about structural misalignment between what manufacturers built, what buyers actually want, and what the market has decided these vehicles are worth. On one side of this battlefield, you have brands managing scarcity like a competitive weapon, tight inventory, bulletproof engineering reputations, strong residual values, and customer wait lists that function like economic gravity. On the other side, you have the inventory glut reality, SUVs turning into depreciating assets sustained by discounts that grow deeper every quarter because the underlying product conviction simply is not there. Here is the thing. The smartest buyers in 2026 are not chasing the biggest discounts. They are chasing the vehicles that will not need them in the first place. Because a $15,000 discount on the wrong SUV is not savings. It is a delayed financial mistake dressed up as a great deal. And get this, that mistake compounds. It compounds in your resale value 2 years from now. It compounds in your trade-in offer. It compounds every time you try to explain to the next buyer why your vehicle is worth what you are asking. Bottom line, the market always tells the truth, even when the marketing does not. If this breakdown saved you from walking into a dealership blind, or worse, walking out with the wrong vehicle, hit subscribe right now. Because this channel exists for one reason, to give you the information the industry profits from you not having. We will see you in the next one.